Hi folks, Brian Cade from the pole barn of Bad Decisions and Broken Dreams, where the coffee's always hot. Nope, never stays hot, ever. Just wanted to take a few seconds here and thank you for stopping in and enjoying our videos. Please take a moment and like and subscribe to videos. This allows us to upload more content. Until next time, folks, have a good day. Hi folks, Brian here at the pole barn of Bad Decisions and Broken Dreams, where the coffee's always hot. I don't know why it won't stay hot, but we'll just keep moving. So today we've got a little break from the 66 Nova on the wiring harness, and we're going to be working on the Jeep Wrangler, the Supercharged Jeep Wrangler. As a matter of fact, we've got a car show at work, and we're going to throw some new to me tires and wheels on and do some maintenance checks and make sure everything's cool. I'll take you around and show you what's going on. Here are the original tires from 11 years ago when we did the Supercharger install. Give you a quick look at that. Little buzz around there. And we had purchased a Jeep, and it came with these wheels and tires, and those are the first ones we're going to put on for the time being. Get us down to work and for the car show and get it looking nice. We're also going to be checking brakes and all the fluids, make sure it's good. She's a little rough, as you can see. We're going to have to take her out, give her a bath, make her look nice for this car show. And there's a look at her for the time being. One of the things that we'll be checking on is we have a 10,500 pound hydraulic winch sitting on the front of the Jeep. That's a mile marker hydraulic winch. And what that winch is powered by is a special power steering pump. That provides hydraulic assist to run the drum and get us out of any situations that we might get into that we get stuck. For the hydraulic winch, we've got a cooler to keep the hydraulic fluid cool, or the power steering fluid, and that is on the aft edge of the passenger side inner fender well. On the inside of the Jeep, we've got the 3/4 ton Chevy transmission stick on there with a granny low first gear, and then these two twin sticks are for the Atlas II transfer case. So, true to form, while doing some videoing, I pulled the extension in my deep well 3/4 inch socket off, and I set it down, and now I'm not sure where I put it. I'll swear, I spend more time looking for tools that I set down than wrenching on vehicles. Yep, still searching around for that darn socket and extension. A good thing to do when you have aluminum wheels and they're on steel rotors and steel studs is to take a small brass brush and clean out your threads. What happens when aluminum touches steel, you get dissimilar metal corrosion. And if you get some gunk that is in these threads, you put your lug nuts on, they're not as tight as they should be, or the gunk prevents you from getting as tight as they should be. They could walk themselves off, and you could have problems with that tire coming loose or, God forbid, coming off altogether. So if you take a little brush, clean them up a little bit, you won't run into that problem. One thing you want to be real cautious of is getting your lug nuts centered on your wheel. When you put these aluminum wheels on, there is a small ramp on that lug nut, and that lug nut has to mate into the wheel. So you can see here how off center that is. If I push on the top of the wheel, it centers it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I do to get those centered up by hand so you don't catch an edge on that lug nut. Tighten it down, and then that wheel will come loose as you drive down the road. So first off, I'm going to get those threads on by hand as best as I can. Make sure that I've got as much thread as I can on those threads, as many threads as I can. I'm going to spin this. You can see how tight that socket is in here because it's trying to get in between the wheel and the lug nut itself. So what I've done is I've taken a small piece of wood and put it on the floor and put a pry bar just underneath the tire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pry up a little bit on the wheel, get that lug nut centered, and turn it in as far as I can get it turned in. Then I'll rotate to the next lug nut and do the same thing. And you can see how easy those lug nuts run down those threads because I've cleaned those threads and I'm not having to fight any gunk that's in those. We've lowered the Jeep onto the ground and we need to torque the wheels to the Jeep. Spec says that they should be 80 to 125 foot-pounds of torque. I know I'm going to get comments about my torque wrench, and I even have a 1980s still in the plastic OG torque wrench in my toolbox. A good technician always takes care of his tools. Here we'll take a good look at her before we get her scrubbed up and looking nice for the car show. Just take a little walk around, get a good sense of what she looks like. She's dirty. Okay, here she is, all shined up and cleaned, ready for the car show. We'll take a little walk around, give you a little show. Came out looking pretty sharp. Well, she's all ready for the car show. Folks, thanks for stopping in. I hope you enjoyed the video, and you have a good day. All right, guys, we're walking around looking at the cars in the car show.